Hello, welcome back, depending on if you're new here. I am in Utah. I'm in Park City right now. I'm here to do some hiking with some friends that I haven't seen in a while, and then we're gonna go to a concert in Salt Lake in a couple of days. So I am the first one here, so I'm just kind of getting settled, and I'm so excited. I've never done hiking in Park City before, and it's been a bit since I've gone on a good hiking trip, so I'm just so ready to be out in nature. And from the drive over here from the airport, it was beautiful and the weather is nice, so I'm just really excited to kind of get out there and look at some pretty trees. So I doubt I'll have time to really paint on this trip because I'm here to see some friends, so I'll just get a lot of reference photos and just be so ready to be inspired by whatever we see so that I can paint them when I get home. Alright, now on to the travel spread. This trip started because my friend and I couldn't get tickets to Noah Kahan in New York, so instead my friend out in Utah was like, hey, would you fly to Salt Lake for it because I can get tickets? And I said, well, if we can hike while we're there, I will absolutely fly out to Salt Lake for a concert. And here we were. It just left me so happy. It was really such a great weekend and a great reminder of how important it is both for my general mental health but also for my creative process to go out and seek new experiences. I'm a fairly introverted person. I know I've said it before. I like hanging out with my friends, but if left unprompted, I am also way too happy to go too long without seeing them because I have things I want to paint, I have books I want to read, I'm just happy to be on my own as well. But this trip left me feeling so happy and inspired and so grateful for the people and the opportunities that I have in my life, and I like to try and hold on to those reminders for as long as I can to encourage myself to continue creating those experiences for myself. Also, creatively, as someone who likes to paint landscapes, this trip was so fulfilling just because everything is so pretty. There are so many gorgeous views, even just driving around in Salt Lake or in Park City. If you haven't been to Salt Lake, the city itself is fairly flat, and then just everywhere you look in the distance is a ginormous mountain that just is a casually gorgeous background to your Trader Joe's trip. Like, it's kind of insane. Now, I love to hike, but I am also an East Coast city girly with asthma, so I was a bit wary of hiking in Park City since it is a fairly large elevation jump from sea level, and even within the city itself, you're just driving around and your ears are popping because even just driving around you're constantly going up and down fairly significant amounts of elevation. So what you're supposed to do in this situation is give yourself a day or two to adjust to the elevation change before you do any serious hiking, but that was going to be too expensive, so I just kind of drank a lot of water and hoped for the best. The plan was just to take it slow and easy and see how it goes, and while I did find that I had to stop and take breaks more often than I normally would have on the first day of hiking, other than that, it was actually totally fine. The plus side to hiking in Park City is that even though it was really hot, it wasn't humid at all, so it actually kind of just felt really nice as someone who's used to really humid heat.
Utah, man. I love it.
So the left side of the spread here covers our hiking in Park City, and we did a couple of great trails that all led to some sort of various alpine lakes, and I truly cannot get over how beautiful it was to be walking through aspen trees and fields of flowers, and just how nice it was to sit on a rock and look out over a lake for a little while. There was even some snow still towards the top of some of the trails, which was kind of wild because it was 90 degrees out.
I can't believe I'm touching snow in July. Feels wrong.
I think, especially at the time, I had really just needed to be out in nature for a while and not like city nature where you're sitting in a park, and this was exactly what I needed. It was all beautiful and the weather was gorgeous. The air was so nice. I could go on and on, but basically the left side of the spread here was one of the alpine lakes that we saw. It was the second lake trail that we did, and it wasn't a long hike, but it was a really steep hike. But you know, when you get to the top and you see the view, it makes it all totally worth it. So that's this left spread here. Anyway, I would highly recommend Park City hiking, and I would absolutely go back in a heartbeat. So if you have any trail recommendations, let me know so I have them for next time. After Park City, we headed over to Salt Lake and met up with a couple of other friends. So this right side of the spread here is all Salt Lake. I had to highlight Swig on here because I was probably overly excited about the chance to go, and we ended up going several times so we could try different flavors. So if you don't know, Swig is a soda shop where they mix sodas with other flavors. So like Dr. Pepper and toffee syrup and half or something like that. I think that was one of the ones that I tried, and I love sugar, so I was really excited about it. We ended up going twice, but then we had the same girl take our order each day that we went, and I'm sure she thought we were insane, especially because I kept ordering several kids cups so I could try the different flavors, and it was definitely a little excessive, but totally worth it to me anyway. So that's like kind of a silly highlight of the trip, but it was really fun, so I wanted to have it mentioned here. And then also at the bottom we have the Bonneville Salt Flats. We went to see these the morning of the concert, and it was so cool. I had never been to a salt flat before, and I also did not look it up beforehand, so to be honest, I didn't fully know what to expect. And once you're on them and you walk out far enough, it really looks like it just goes on forever, and the textures that the salt creates on the ground are fascinating. I know that when there's water on them, there can be a really cool mirror effect, but they were completely dry when we went, so we actually just got a really clear look at the texture of the ground itself, which I didn't mind because, again, it was really cool. It was interesting because it was kind of just right off the highway. Like, you just are driving on the highway for a long time and there they are. I don't know, it's just like a small parking lot directly off the highway, and then you just walk out onto the salt flats, which I wasn't expecting, and was just kind of funny. And then the main highlight of this side of the spread, of course, was the concert. I cannot get over this venue. It is so pretty. It used to be the USANA Amphitheater, and now it's like First Credit Union something amphitheater. But if you look at it, it is gorgeous. It's not a huge venue, but it's in Salt Lake, so like I said earlier, mountains in the background. So you're sitting here in this amphitheater outside, the weather is gorgeous, you've got the stage in front of you, and then these gorgeous mountains in the background, and the sun is setting behind you, so it's not in your eyes, but like on the mountains in the background, the sky is turning gorgeous colors. It was just such an immaculate vibe. It was so great, and it just felt really fitting to be in an outdoor venue for a Noah Kahan concert. And I love his music, and he sounded great. So the actual concert itself, of course, was also incredible. Anyway, it was an amazing night, and it's probably one of my favorite concerts that I've been to, and I'll absolutely be thinking about it for a while. As I said earlier, this trip just brought me so much joy, and I think it was just really something that I needed. So yeah, here is the completed spread. If you've stuck with me this long, I really appreciate you. Let me know in the comments if you have ever been to Utah or seen a concert at that amphitheater or gone hiking in Park City. Oh, and if you're a Noah Kahan fan, tell me what your favorite songs are. Anyway, don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you'd like to see more of me, and I will see you in the next one.